Zohran Mamdani has officially secured the Democratic nomination for the 2025 New York City mayoral race, which is a development that has been shaken up New York City Democrat politics. Now, on July 1st, today, the New York City Board of Elections finalized their ranked choice voting results, confirming that Mamdani's victory over former disgraced Governor Andrew Cuomo in the Democrat primary. You can clearly see right here, Mamdani won with 56% of the vote, while Andrew Cuomo in the final round came in second place with 44% of the vote. You can see in Staten Island and the Bronx, Andrew Cuomo was winning, and in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and the Queens, Mamdani clearly won. Now, Mamdani is a 33-year-old state assemblyman and a self-described Democrat socialist, and now he has officially clinched the Democrat nomination with a platform that is raising eyebrows among moderates, conservative, Democrats alike. People across the board are extremely worried about this. But let's talk about Mamdani's path to victory at this point. Mamdani, who before this was a relatively unknown state assemblyman, since 2021 pulled off a stunning upset over Andrew Cuomo, a political heavyweight with decades of name recognition and a political dynasty behind his father, Mario Cuomo. Mamdani's campaign leveraged ranked choice voting, securing 43% in the first round of voting, ultimately surpassing the 50% threshold in the second round of voting. Now, a key to his success was this kind of cross-endorsement with City Comptroller Brad Lander, who encouraged his supporters to rank Mamdani, amplifying his progressive base. His campaign relied on grassroots energy, fueled by young voters and viral social media, and he outmaneuvered Cuomo's well-funded operation, which leaned on massive super PAC spending. Mamdani focused on affordability. He really keyed in on free buses, free childcare, rent freezes, which ultimately you could clearly see Mamdani leaned into the most sensitive issue of affordability with the worst policy prescriptions that you can possibly imagine. So we're going to see how that all plays out. But ultimately, because he was leaning into the affordability issue, it resonated with voters frustrated with New York City's high cost. Though these promises raise extreme fiscal concern, and you have this thing called fiscal sanity and fiscal reality that you have to deal with. So we're going to see how they have to deal with, because I've never heard of a socialist ever talk about fiscal reality because they have no idea what that is. Now, critics argue and question the practicality of Mamdani's agenda, fearing that he will strain the city's budget, alienate businesses, alienate wealthy individuals to leave. And his victory reflects a broader trend, the Democrats' party embrace of extreme left-wing progressive ideas, really borderline, and this isn't even borderline, this is socialist and communist ideas, which will complicate their appeal, which I think this could go two ways. You could either see that Democrats nationwide say, hey, we're not about that, we're going to move away from that. Or you're going to see Democrats nationwide, look how they won in New York City, let's do that. I think Republicans could do a very well in the House in 2026 if Democrats decide to lean into this radical left-wing socialist communist agenda. Now, Mamdani's platform is unapologetically left-leaning. He advocates for wealth redistribution through higher taxes on the rich to fund really ambitious social programs for the poor. Proposals like government-run grocery stores and rent freezes for stabilized apartments have drawn support from labor unions, but skepticism from fiscal conservatives and just people who have fiscal sanity, it has grown a lot of criticism and skepticism from them. Now, his Democrat Socialist label, which has been endorsed by figures like Bernie Sanders, like AOC, has Republicans and moderate Democrats framing him as a radical who will harm New York City's economic stability. Mamdani also has an anti-Zionist, anti-Jewish stance and has comments on international issues like refusing to welcome Israeli leaders, having sparked accusation of extreme anti-Semitism, worrying moderates about this insane anti-Semitism, which is well and alive inside of the Democrat Party. These policies risk driving businesses out of New York City, potentially undermining the tax base needed for some of these lofty initiatives. And when Mamdani claims that his agenda is feasible with state cooperation, critics argue it ignores the city's complex fiscal realities. It will lead to insufficient funds. It will be ineffective. It really will be. But let's look at the general election as of right now. Mamdani will face off in a crowded general election on November 4th against Republican Curtis Sliwa, independent mayor, current incumbent mayor Eric Adams, and possibly independent Andrew Cuomo. Now, as we all know, Eric Adams dropped out of the Democrat primary after a dismissed federal corruption case and has now positioned himself as a pragmatic alternative to Mamdani's left-wing socialist ideas. Now, the conservative in this race will likely capitalize on some of Mamdani's socialism to rally some votes towards him, but ultimately it is very unlikely that Republicans will win. It's almost, I would give it a 0% chance, maybe a 0.1% chance that Republicans win this race. If anything, I think if people want to defeat Mamdani, what they need to do, Cuomo needs to drop out, the Republican Curtis Sliwa needs to drop out, they need to endorse Eric Adams. That is the best shot they have. I never thought I'd say it, but I will endorse Eric Adams. I will. I never thought I would say that, but the choice cannot be clearer. The choice could not be clearer here. Because Cuomo's potential independent run would split the more moderate vote, complicating, any moderate candidate's path to victory, and it would basically clear up Mamdani's path, despite the fact that the Democrat nomination, it has historical advantages. But still, there is a possibility that you could use this against him. You could really push back hard against him. But ultimately, that's going to require two of these people to bow out of the race. And I believe it's going to be the Republican, and Andrew Cuomo needs to bow out of this race. They do. Mamdani's policies will alienate middle-class voters, businesses, people that are more wealthy, giving people like Eric Adams a chance if they can unify a pragmatic, liberal, independent, and conservative voters, he could win. And President Donald Trump has even weighed in, warning that Mamdani, threatening that he will withhold federal funds if he doesn't do the right thing. And he's added national pressure to the race, highlighting that it has broad implications. Plus, you add on the fact that the business community, their reported interest in backing Adams suggests a counter-movement to Mamdani's agenda, which would reshape the race's dynamics. Now, Mamdani's win in the 2025 New York City mayoral Democrat nomination is a historic moment, making him the first time a Muslim Indian American nominee in this race. However, his socialist policies, polarizing stances, and inability to assess fiscal reality raises serious questions. It does. There's serious questions to be had here. And I think the best thing that we can do is rally behind Eric Adams and give him another term as an independent mayor of New York City. That is what we must do at this point. We cannot let socialism win. You cannot let this communist win. But that is going to wrap things up for today, folks. This is the status of the New York City mayoral race right now with Zohran Mamdani, Eric Adams, Andrew Cuomo. We're going to see what happens. But ultimately, drop down below. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button to make sure you never miss another video from us again in the future. And folks, we will catch you next time.